The mission that we have is stated as to build strong mind, body, character, and community, across our teams and across our student athletes. What we like to say, in addition to that though, is that really we're just about getting kids on bikes. We call ourselves Pickle. My name is Mike Kuhn. I'm the director of the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Cycling League and the promoter of the Grinduro Pennsylvania. So Pickle is a statewide interscholastic mountain biking league. We work with 6th through 12th grade boys and girls across Pennsylvania. We build teams in their communities, and then we bring them together for events throughout the fall. In the first year of the league, we launched with about 300 student athletes. We have a lot of students from sort of the Philadelphia area and suburbs, then South Central Pennsylvania, from Harrisburg and south, and a contingent in the Pittsburgh area, as well as groups kind of scattered all over the place. Pickle is in its 7th season, and we've just reached 1,250 students in our 6th. We expect to grow more here in our 7th. We're in about 60 to 70 teams, which make up somewhere around 100 school districts across the state. We're focused on bringing kids in. We're not focused on trying to produce high-level performances, right? That happens naturally. When you get thousands of kids together and they race their bikes hard, some of them are incredibly fast. What we're more concerned about or more focused on is really just getting as many to get on a saddle as we can. So one of the things that we realize, across this sport, right, is that it's an expensive sport. It can be, and it's not just the expense, it can the travel, the time. There are a lot of things that are obstacles to participation. How do we reduce some of these barriers? There's a range of solutions that teams are implementing, and because we're focused on the new athlete, the equipment costs are different. They're not insignificant, but they're significantly different. We are working to overcome travel barriers by creating more events in more places. I think it's a lesson that you can see in literally almost any youth sport that has been massively successful. You don't go very far to have to do it. You may have to go really far to do it at a high level, but you can walk down your street and play baseball, soccer, football. All of those sports exist, at home. And when you think about the time commitment and the cost commitments that dissipate if you only have to go down the street to do your sport, that is huge. Rather than making people come to us, we want to go to them. It is youth sport, so it is a pay-to-play structure for a lot of the participants. But what that does is that also creates a mechanism by which we can bring more people to the sport who maybe need a little bit of help to get there. Now we're out fundraising. We're raising, in Pickle's case, we have significant support from the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources in Pennsylvania. We have a partnership grant with them that funds a position on our staff. And that's huge, right? That offsets a significant amount of money, which we can then put back into, be it building more teams, helping families afford to do this, or creating new events in new places. Across NICA, we have a lot of parent coaches. I think the number is about 70% of our coaches are parents as well. They're learning to ride bikes better. We talk about the fundamentals of any sport. There's a sport like basketball where you're dribbling the ball, or baseball where you're learning to catch and throw, and like these very fundamental things. And for a lot of us, when we learned how to ride a mountain bike, we didn't think about fundamentals. We just went and rode our bike. And so the parents, as they become coaches, are taught how to instruct riders that allows them to be not just better coaches, but better riders themselves. I mean, you're not standing on a sideline and helping the team coach that way. You're actually out riding bikes. So you're not only helping the next generation kind of find their passion for it, but you're expressing yours. And I can tell you, I got to coach for the first time a team. I got to coach a team for the first time this year. And the couple of hours a week that we would spend coaching you're going through your day and like you're getting pulled in 1,000 different directions and you're stressed out and you're exhausted because, right, life. And then you pull into that practice and you have to take a minute and get yourself like ready to practice, bring your best self to the practice. And then for the next 2 hours, it's the 2 best hours of my week, right? Or the 6 best hours of my week while we're out there practicing, because I'm totally focused on those kids and what they're doing and what they're giving back to me, kind of getting to be their coach. From the standpoint of a youth mountain bike coach, man, is it great. Why we wanted to partner with Grinduro. Well, first off, Grinduro, like, it's amazing, right? Like, if you're in this sport, you know how much fun this is. You've seen the coverage, the format's great. Got to know some of the folks, particularly at Giro, and over the years with some of the other things that we had done. And so we explored partnerships. Giro's been a partner of the National Interscholastic Cycling Association for a long time. So there's a lot of, kind of close connections that ended up coming together to create an opportunity to bring Grinduro to Pennsylvania. We're at a point where we were looking to host an event as a fundraising mechanism. We talked about how important fundraising is, to the organization, to our ability to deliver, on our mission across the state. We had here in Sullivan County with one of our teams, the Lycoming County Composite Team, an event that they had been working on for a few years, that they had been running as a fundraiser for the team. It seemed like a great fit, right? We could take an already existing event that's supporting a NICA team, combine it with this incredible international event, and bring it to a part of Pennsylvania that it's both beautiful and it's remote. And so you mix those two together and you have this like perfect combination. There's not, right, you can go out for long rides and you're just not going to run into traffic, and the terrain's amazing. Kind of mash that all up, and here we are with Grinduro Pennsylvania supporting the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Cycling League. So I'm really excited, and I'm really thankful to have the opportunity to work with Giro, work with BMC, work with all the other amazing partners in this event, and to kind of bring them into the Pickle family at the same time. So it's kind of interesting, right, to reflect on what Grinduro is and how it's developed, sort of what we see going on in cycling in general with the idea of time segments, be they on the road or mountain bike. And it's changing how we experience the sport. It's not just about the race all the time. It's about the fun and camaraderie and the sheer joy of going for a bike ride with your friends and pinning it from time to time. Or not. Maybe just it's enjoying the donuts and the French fries at the aid stations. And that's, there's parallels there between that and between what we see our job being in Pickle, and I think across NICA, which is to bring people into the sport, to help them find their passion. Like, it's great. We work exclusively with mountain biking, in the National Interscholastic Cycling Association at this point. But by no means do we think that's where kids should end up. Of course, there's road, and there's track, and there's cyclocross, and there's these interesting combinations of things that are out there. And there is commuting to work, and there is bike packing, and there is putting your family on a bike and doing any one of these things as well. And I think, right, this all kind of comes together in a way that cycling is really just about having fun, and boy, does the Grinduro model fit that to a T. So Grinduro, Pennsylvania takes place in Sullivan County, Pennsylvania, kind of what is called the Endless Mountains region of the state. And it's beautiful. It is, these forested ridges and carved out mountain streams that create really somewhat of a playground, right, for riding your bike, whether you want to be, road or gravel. And I'm excited to say there's more and more mountain biking coming to the area. It's remote. There's no cell service. There's no Wi-Fi. You can come out here and you can get lost, and you can ride your bike and just soak it all in a really special way. And the community has really come out to support this from all over the county. They're coming out. But one I want to highlight in particular is the Lycoming County Composite Team. So the Pickle team that the event benefits is out there working the course. The parents are out, the coaches are out, and the kids are out. And they're super excited to have everybody here. And it's really cool to think that within a year or two, some of them will be out here doing this with everybody else who's coming in for Grinduro, potentially winning it. If you'd like to know more about the National Interscholastic Cycling Association and the leagues across the country, go to nationalmtb.org. And if you'd like to know a little bit more about the Pennsylvania League, go to PAMTB.org.